holiday has its horror movies. Of course, Halloween has a million, from Trick or Treat to Terrifier 1 and 2, and of course a majority of the Halloween franchise movies. Weirdly, even the happiest time of year, Christmas, has a bunch of horrors. You've got Black Christmas, you've got Silent Night, Deadly Night, and even Krampus. And thinking about it, even holidays that are only celebrated in certain countries like Thanksgiving have horror movies. But one holiday that I don't think has that many, or at least the ones they do have aren't really well known, is New Year's. And of course, with it being New Year's Eve today, and not everybody likes to go out, and the biggest terror of them all, your local bar and pub now charging you an entrance fee. So I was thinking, instead, why don't we stay in and watch some New Year's Eve themed horror movies? And I will be giving you my top 5 recommendations. And my first recommendation is going to be End of Days. Now, we all know Arnold Schwarzenegger. He has battled Terminators, he's battled Predators, he's even battled Greek gods. But did you know he has also battled Satan in New York City on New Year's Eve? Well, now's your opportunity to see this spectacle, the 1999 movie End of Days. This film is set in the gritty streets of New York City on the cusp of the new millennium, with the world getting ready to bring in the year 2000. However, the devil decides to crash the party by coming to the Big Apple, searching for a woman who will help him bring about the end of days. He finds a 20-year-old woman named Christine York, and if she agrees to bear his child between the hours of 11 p.m. to midnight on New Year's Eve, she will eventually give birth to the Antichrist and the world will end. The only hope lies with an ex-cop turned bodyguard named Jericho Kane, of course, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger. This is a great movie and actually one of Arnold's best. He really brings up some strong emotions, especially when the devil tries to bring up painful memories of his wife and daughter. The devil is played by Gabriel Byrne, who in the same year portrayed a kind and loving priest in Stigmata. He literally played both ends of a religious spectrum in 1999. Gabriel Byrne has a crazy amount of range. Going on to my next recommendation, which is the movie Terror Train. And Terror Train from 1980 is a thrilling, scream-packed ride that proves that some New Year's Eve parties are best left unboarded. College friends looking to celebrate in style hop on a costume-clad party train for a night of laughter, drinks, and unforgettable memories. But there's a catch. Someone on board isn't there to party. They're out for revenge. As the train chugs through the snowy wilderness, a masked killer begins picking off passengers one by one, leaving the remaining revelers scrambling to survive the night. With a young Jamie Lee Curtis at the helm as the ultimate scream queen, and a magician played by the real-life illusionist David Copperfield, adds a layer of mystery. Terror Train is a suspense-filled horror that keeps you guessing until the final stop. And the costumes in this movie are great as well. The claustrophobic vibe it gives because it's set on a train is excellent, and it really has that 80s flair. And what I had only just realized is that they remade this movie in 2022, and I had no idea, so I'll probably give that a watch just to see how it is. However, when I was researching this up, I did see that it's only got 9% on Rotten Tomatoes, so I'm not really expecting too much, to be honest. My third recommendation is the movie New Year's Evil. And again, another movie from 1980. This seems to be like the year for New Year's Eve horrors. New Year's Evil is a killer countdown of music, mayhem, and murder. The story kicks off with Blaze, a fiery punk rock TV host, ringing in the new year with a live broadcast and a rowdy crowd of partygoers. The celebration takes a dark turn when a mysterious caller phones in, promising to kill someone every time the clock strikes midnight in a different time zone. And Blaze herself is the final target. As the night unfolds, unfolds, the killer stalks the victims with extreme precision, all while Blaze tries to keep the party alive, unaware that the killer might be closer than she thinks. Packed with a pulsing 80s rock soundtrack, wild costumes, and a gloriously over-the-top killer, New Year's Evil is a campy, chaotic slasher that turns the holiday spirit into pure terror. It's a night you won't forget if you survive until midnight. My fourth recommendation is a proper cult classic, and that's Bloody New Year. Bloody New Year is a wild, time-warping horror flick that's as much of a spooky trip down memory lane as it is a chaotic thrill ride. The film follows a group of carefree friends who, after a mishap with some unruly locals, stumble upon a seemingly deserted hotel on a remote island. What starts as a chance for a refuge quickly turns into a nightmare as they realize that this is not your average abandoned resort. It's a haunted time capsule stuck in 1959, complete with malevolent spirits and reality-bending horror. And this movie is really quirky. It's not as scary as what you might think, but it's a lot of fun. You got ghost partygoers and possessed furniture, but the weirdest thing in the movie is the bizarre time loops. And it's kind of hard to put this movie in a certain subgenre of horror because it's so chaotic, and it's a complete mashup of ghost stories and slasher thrills, even a little bit of sci-fi is in there, and just the whole weird vibe of the movie will just leave you scratching your head. It is perfect for fans of 80s horror who love their movies to be just a little bit cheesy. And my final pick for a New Year's Eve movie, although not quite a horror, it does still contain ghosts, and that's Ghostbusters 2. This movie's climactic showdown with Vigo the Carpathian happens on New Year's Eve, with the Ghostbusters racing against time to save the city before the clock strikes midnight. The film's final act ties directly into the holiday as the team uses the goodwill and positive energy of the city's residents brought together by the New Year's celebration to neutralize Vigo's evil powers and bring the Statue of Liberty to life as a symbol of hope. And the main themes of Ghostbusters 2 is renewal and positivity, which does make it the perfect New Year's Eve movie. Plus, it's a great excuse to bring in 2025 with ghosts and laughter. Also, top tip, if you start watching Ghostbusters 2 at 10:27:53 p.m, Bill Murray will say Happy New Year as your clock strikes midnight. Go take my recommendations, go have a very relaxing, fun New Year's Eve evening, and I wish you all a very happy 2025. And I will see you very soon. Bye.